NTDs, total susceptible population in India is about 700 million, and 1.7 billion worldwide are affected. In India, out of the 20 NTDs, about 11 to 12 are prevalent over here, and top 3 NTDs will be the Leishmaniasis, the filariasis, the leprosy, and at the moment we also have in our program the Leishmaniasis is also known as Kala Azar in colloquial term. And another major program which we are undertaking is the elimination of soil transmitted helminthic disease. So these are some of the top infections here. Actually, India was very successful in a sense that we eliminated the guinea worm, that Dracunculosis, in 2000. We got leprosy away as a major public health problem in 2005. In 2017, we almost declared the trachoma, infective trachoma. We almost made it elimination, took it up to elimination stage. It's not eliminated, but it's no longer a public health threat. And at this given moment, out of all the endemic districts, 90% we have eliminated, we have removed Kala Azar as a threat. That is, it is less than 1 per 10,000. And at this given moment, only 6 districts, 4 in Jharkhand and 2 in Bihar, are affected. So there is a huge progress which we have got. And in the filariasis, which is also one of the major NTDs, about 133 districts we have stopped the mass drug administration. We need to have an integrated approach for vector control, because for each vector we cannot design a separate control measure. So this is one of the things which is now in the anvil. The second one is that identifying drugs which will eliminate the carriers, those who carry the drug and carry the bug and transmit it. How do we reach them the drug, whether for preventive drug or a curative drug? That is one major thing which has happened. And for many of these we have now drugs. We have drugs for Kala Azar, that is the liposomal amphotericin B. It was previously being donated by Gilead and WHO. Now India is making it. The same way for the drugs for the filariasis are also made in India now, and they are all available at this given moment. Problem is that how to reach it to everyone who needs it and diagnose them very early, so that we can take them and find out diagnostic tests which will tell us that whether we have been able to cure these guys or not, so that they don't transmit it in future. Finally, there is one more very major area, that is the mass communication. These are all mass campaign programs. So if we really want to reach people, it is very difficult if we don't have a mass communication program and partnerships, and also an appropriate financing. Actually, why it is burden in India is this, that there are patches of area in India where it was not eliminated. And this is again a disease of the very, very poor now. They live in the ghettos, they live in close proximation, and this has a very large incubation period. So those guys who were infected maybe 10 years before, they can still transmit it. And if they are living in a close conjunction, there is a contact this happens through the contact. And there is another major reason that the kind of leprosy which occurs has changed. Previously, it was a macular papulonism which was disfigurement, and that was really noticed. Now it is a simple color patch, and nobody really notices it and nobody bothers about it. But they are able to transmit it. It can be transmitted even by the nasal drops. So that is the reason that it is happening. As we are eliminating poverty and as we are reaching these guys, and we have again in between what happened, that we have stopped the active surveillance and many of the leprosy labs got closed. Now we are revising it. We are again training the dermatologists and others to diagnose leprosy and these patches. In Indian context, one of the major vaccine which might be soon available is for the Kala Azar. And luckily an Indian company is making this vaccine, which has been discovered by Dr. Nakasi from the US FDA with the funding from the Indian government also, Department of Biotechnology. This particular vaccine is a live vaccine but attenuated vaccine. This has been tested in Tunisia and it has got one very major advantage. It will prevent Kala Azar as well as it will prevent tropical leishmaniasis, which is prevalent in northern India. Another very exciting vaccine scenario is happening for the dengue. And the NIH vaccine, which is also known as Butantan vaccine, has been transferred to 3 Indian companies: Panacea Biotech, Biological E, as well as the Serum Institute of India. It is in advanced stage of preparation and will be in the market in another 1 or 2 years. So we will have a vaccine against dengue, which is one of the major threat really in the NTD family, because 92,400 cases has happened up to September of 2023. We need to have increase the financial part of it. It also need to get into the SDGs, Sustainable Development Program, where a lot of other things like water, nutrition, child and women, because it affects the women and children most, the child and women health groups, as well as it need to be integrated into the health systems. One more challenge is the water sanitation and hygiene, because wherever there is a gap in hygiene, the dengue surges. So all of these gaps are very difficult to surmount, and we need to go for that. We really need to strengthen the surveillance, active surveillance, don't really loosen it. We should be able to use GIS and the new tools with which we could find out even the major hotspots of the vector density and coming up. We need to engage communities. So the NGOs need to be very strongly engaged for an indefinite period of time, even after the elimination. And it should be integrated into the health systems, because it cannot be sustained in the program mode forever. So the health system integration is very important, so that the health system is able to take care of it. And wherever there are morbidities like hydrocele, which happens in filariasis, or elephantiasis, which happens in filariasis, this should be able to be taken care by our health system.